So I had to bring this PSA out there because to me, Charlie and Sean, both of the behaviors it's diabolical. They're basically the same person, but they just go about things in different ways. Okay. So yeah, they need to get them out the villa because I'm actually sick of them. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been watching Love Island All Stars, and instead of doing like a review and recap, I just wanted to talk about specifically Charlie and Sean. I think that they both need to get out of the villa because at this point, the behavior is diabolical. But I just kind of wanted to break down some of the things that they've been saying. So I'm going to start with Charlie. Saying is when Jess originally talked to Charlie, and that was the first time we saw that Jess and Charlie even had a connection. And Charlie was saying that he really wanted to kiss Jess in that moment. That was the moment where Jess should have immediately then gone to Millie to let Millie know that her and Charlie are connecting. So I didn't like Jess for that because she's supposedly friends with Millie. It seems like they're close in the villa, so they say. But she didn't immediately go tell Millie, hey, just so you know, me and Charlie are actually getting to know each other. You know, I mean, she didn't even have to say anything about what Charlie said about wanting to kiss her. But why not give Millie a heads up of, hey, me and Charlie have this connection. So I didn't really like Jess for doing that. I just kind of want to talk about that because that bothered me. I just didn't think that was a very like girl thing to do. There's nothing wrong with letting your friend know that you have an interest in the same guy as her. This is Love Island. Like this shit happens all the time. Like strange. And considering these are people that have been on Love Island before, I don't really know what kind of like, how does that behavior get excused? Because you guys know how Love Island works. You're all stars. People have connections with the same people. You tell them it's okay. So didn't like Jess for doing that. Just had to start there. Now let's get into Charlie. Charlie having this conversation with Millie and basically talking about how, he was saying things like, oh, we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. All I can say is, I guess we'll just start from the beginning. When Millie originally chose Charlie at the recoupling, this was episode like 4, I believe. And immediately Millie got stolen by the bombshell Connor, right? And had to be in a couple with him. Charlie and Kieran then go on a double date with 2 new bombshells, which are Sammy and AJ. Let's keep it real. When they were talking to Sammy and AJ, Charlie and Kieran, Charlie and AJ only really had an interest in Kieran. They were not really giving that much interest towards Charlie. Charlie could tell that they were both feeling Kieran more. I think that bothered him to then come back into the villa knowing that his only connection, Millie, has now been stolen by Connor and he has no one left, right? And instead of being a man, right, and continuing to just pursue Millie irregardless and, continuing to just bring that connection forward, he then decides to go start talking to Jess. Now, there is nothing wrong with Charlie going to talk to Jess. I just want to make that clear because this is Love Island and let's keep it real. Since Millie is partnered up with Connor, it does make Charlie vulnerable, right? Because at this point, he's not coupled up. So he has to talk to other girls. The issue wasn't that Charlie had an interest in Jess. The issue is how he went about pursuing that. So when he's talking to Jess, he's saying, oh, I really want to kiss you right now. And like getting really close to her. It's a little aggressive. Like you can get to know Jess, talk to her. Why are you trying to say you want to be all up on her and be kissing her and doing that? That is unnecessary. And this is where I'm starting to not like Charlie because I can tell that he did that out of insecurity. He's insecure that Millie has options. And I think he knows that he does not have nearly the amount of options that Millie has in that villa. And I feel like he's doing this whole thing with Jess as a way to make Millie feel like, oh my God, I need to really put more effort into Charlie before he's stolen by Jess, right? So it's a tactic for Millie to really put in more effort and more concentration on Charlie. He's a manipulator, okay? Some people are saying on TikTok, oh, I don't see anything wrong with Charlie's behavior. Why can't he like Millie and like Jess? That's not the problem. He can like Millie and like Jess. It's how he's going about it that people are not liking. And it's very clear as day that the man is not going about it in a very respectful way at all. And then when Millie basically kind of calls him out for it, he tries to gaslight her. And he's saying things like, we're not in a relationship. Did Millie say you guys were in a relationship? Like, what the, like, how is that your response? It's crazy because when Connor was rubbing sunscreen on Millie's legs and Charlie, got up, why did he do that? Because they're not in a relationship. So why did he feel like another man can't be rubbing sunscreen on Millie's legs and Millie rubbing sunscreen on Connor's back? Why was that an issue? Because you weren't in a relationship then either. And this is the problem that I have with Charlie, that a lot of people have with Charlie. It's obvious that he feels some type of way that Millie has options in that villa. There is something going on there that it is bugging him, because even his responses are not normal responses. When a girl is talking to you about another connection you have and your initial response is, we're not in a relationship. Did Millie say you guys were in a relationship? Is she acting like you're in a relationship? Like, that is actually diabolical and scary. It's a no for me, guys. Millie needs to run away from Charlie if she knows what's good for her. And the thing about Charlie is his behavior, he's not even trying to hide that he's acting kind of scummy. So I do think that Millie is smart enough to kind of clock that there's something going on. I feel like she's suspicious now. And I just hope that she follows her gut feeling with Charlie, because I think she could pick up on something being off. Like, as she was talking to Charlie in this conversation, I could see Millie's wheels turning, and even she's kind of like, what the hell is up with this guy? Like, I think she knows that there's something deeper going on, because this is not a simple behavior as, oh, Charlie's just into Millie and Jess. He's doing certain things to specifically make Millie feel some type of way. And it's very, very, very unnecessary, especially for a man that's 31 years old. But one thing about Love Island and all these reality TV shows is, guys, age is just a number, because the amount of times men that are like 30 something, 40 something be acting a fool is actually crazy. So yeah, Charlie is a no, and his behavior is problematic. I think Millie really has to just kind of explore her other options. And let's keep it real. Like, Millie's a hot commodity. Okay. Sean was interested in her. There are many other men that have shown interest in Millie. Charlie, oh my God, where do I start with Sean? The sweets man. So here's what I will say about Sean. When Sean came into the villa, when Scott came into the villa and immediately called Sean out for being annoying, if anybody that is watching this video thought that Scott was being harsh, after watching 5 or 6 episodes that are out now, I'm hoping that you all knew what Scott meant by Sean being annoying. Because in case you didn't know, this is exactly what Scott was talking about. Sean is not a nice person. He is actually just as bad as Charlie. The only difference between Sean and Charlie is that Charlie does not go around parading to be like a nice guy, a sweets man. That's just like, that's like an underdog and is looking for no. Charlie kind of shows who he is up front, right? And I'm hoping to God that Millie and Jess start to clock that Charlie is not the one. The thing about Sean is he goes around as the sweets man. He tries to act like he's, just the nice guy. That's like nice guys finish last. Like, that's the type of vibe that he's giving. But the thing about it is he's not nice at all. So let me get into Sean. When Sean came into the villa, let's keep it real. On his season, and it's happening again on All Stars, he's always had to do a lot of work to get any babe in any of these Love Island seasons, okay? Because let's keep it a buck. No girl comes into Love Island and says, yeah, I want Sean. Do any of the girls come into Love Island gunning for Sean? No, Sean is constantly having to put in the effort to talk to any of the girls on the show, okay? So the reason I'm saying this is because originally, before he coupled up with Belle wanted Scott, okay? Scott chose Leanne, right, guys? We all saw this. Because Scott chose Leanne, Belle had to choose Sean. And let's keep it a stack. Sean knows this. Sean knows that Belle wanted Scott. Sean, Belle did not want his ass, okay? She did not want it, okay? She ended up with him, okay? And Belle is a sweet person. It seems like they've been getting on well. So I just want to say this because Sean making the comment, right, where he said that, what is her name? he would have rather have chosen or gotten chosen by, what's this girl's name? The one that, Helena. Yes, that he would have rather gotten chosen by Helena and Belle like kicked off and got angry. I don't believe Sean for 1 second. He is very, very insecure. Very, very insecure. And he doesn't even really want that. The reason he's saying that is because he's saying it out of insecurity. And like, there's something about Sean, like he's such a dodo brain and he's an idiot. Like, but even him saying that alone just goes to show you guys that this nice sweets man, it's not real. It's a fake. It's fake. Okay. And he then Belle ends up finding out and she like goes off on him. The craziest thing about Sean making that comment about him wanting Helena to choose him, he doesn't even want Helena. He doesn't even want Helena. That's what's so ironic about this whole thing. And he's now telling Belle, right, that he now is interested in Sammy. So you're meaning to tell me that Sean is currently coupled up with a girl that looks as good as Belle does, and now he's trying to instead go for somebody like Sammy, another baddie. He's delusional. And I personally think that Sean is extremely insecure. He's acting out of insecurity. And I don't even know what the F he's thinking, because let's keep it a stack. Sammy will never choose him. She will never choose him. She will never choose him. And you know what's crazy? Initially, Sean said that he wanted Helena to choose him over Belle. Guys, have you seen Sean talking to Helena in these past couple of episodes? No, he's now on to Sammy. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, Sean is a problem. He's a little menace. And I guarantee you, he will not be in that villa long, okay? Because this behavior is crazy. And to me, it doesn't really make sense to burn the bridge with Belle, considering Sammy has not even given any reassurance that she's going to pick you. Sammy, mark my words, guys, she will not choose Sean. She will not choose Sean. She won't, And even him then telling Belle, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to Sammy now. And like, what is the point of saying these things? The bottom line is, Sean is a perfect example of a guy that you decide to give a chance, the guy that you never wanted, and then he starts to act up. Okay. And this is why women, I hope women are listening, we don't give this nice guy a chance. We don't give the guy that we never wanted a chance. The dusty man, the ugly man. Don't do it, because they will do you dirtier than the man that you actually wanted, than the man that you actually find attractive. Okay. And Sean on Love Island is the perfect example of that. Okay. So I had to bring this PSA out there, because to me, Charlie and Sean, both of the behaviors it's diabolical. They're basically the same person, but they just go about things in different ways. Okay. So yeah, they need to get them out the villa, because I'm actually sick of them. And I do feel like, especially with All Stars, because these are returning Islanders, a lot of people return because they actually want to find someone. Sean and Charlie are not it. Okay. So I hope that they bring in more bombshells, which I know that they will. And hopefully through that, some people end up leaving, like Charlie and Sean. So I just had to make this video because these two people were bugging me. And I think I might start just kind of talking about some of the drama in the villa instead of doing these review and recaps that I normally do. But yeah, let me know if you guys like this video, and also let me know your thoughts on these two people. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe with the bell, and thanks. Bye.